Welcome to the EHCtv Sports Interview. I'm Logan Nestor. Alongside of me is women's basketball player Anna Green. Nice to have you here, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Anna, so it's been a little bit of a tough season so far. The women's basketball team has only won 3 games. First question for you is, what is the mindset in the locker room like right now?
We're staying positive, and we're just working really hard. We're getting after it at every single practice. We're really competing, and we're going out to win every night.
All right, and a little bit of disappointment before the season started that I've got to ask you about. You had 7 or 8 players who were supposed to be on the team and decided not to play this season after playing last season. Didn't quit mid-season, but decided not to play before the season started. And there were some pretty big names there: Jalen McPherson, Michelle Williams, Carlita Ham, players like that. Do you think that affected the psyche of the team coming into the season, losing some players who had starting experience?
It definitely affected us. We were a tight team last year, and we were all really close, like a family. And so not having them this year was an interesting adjustment, but I think we've adjusted fine, and we're very close together this year as well.
And tell me a little bit more about those adjustments. Who's had to step up in leadership roles and on the court?
Well, I don't really know how to answer that.
All right, well then we can move on then to talk about this season a little bit more. It was supposed to be a big start to the year, a sophomore class with some outstanding players. You're a sophomore, Karina Farr is a sophomore, and players like that. This year coming in as a sophomore, how has it been different from your freshman year?
Well, my role has changed quite a bit. Last year, I had to get used to the program, get used to Coach Katz's style of coaching, and then also just to get used to my teammates. This year, we were able to hit the ground running, I guess, because we all knew each other a lot better, so our chemistry has gotten much better.
What is it like to play for Coach Katz? I sit courtside at the scorers table sometimes, and she's very intense. Describe what it's like to play for someone like that.
I love playing for Coach Katz. She gets us very fired up, and she's very, very passionate about the game. And so that translates into our game, because when we see her so excited and so passionate and fired up about it, we become the same way.
And you don't come from across the country. You're from Raleigh, North Carolina, but that's not exactly Emory and Henry's wheelhouse either. What brought you to the school?
Ultimately, the family atmosphere. When I was here on my recruits visits, I really just clicked with the girls that are on the team, and this felt like home.
All right, you talked about the family atmosphere. Your dad was your coach in high school. Describe that for me, having your dad be your high school coach.
It was very interesting. It's hard to find the fine line between hearing what your dad's telling you and hearing what your coach is telling you. It made for interesting car rides home after games, that's for sure. But it also made us very closer.
Is there one specific story or event that you can tell me about where, coach and dad may have been different things?
Well, let's see. He actually coached the guys, and his boys had a really, really rough night, and I had to ride home with him after that game, and my mom hadn't gotten to come because it was on the road. And I don't think he said a single word the entire hour-and-a-half car ride home, and it was very tense, and I got to kid all the guys about it the next day.
You hear coaches talk all the time about having a coach's kid on the team and things like that, and they have a higher basketball IQ. Do you feel like that's something that you bring to the court as a coach's daughter?
I feel like I do have a very high IQ for basketball, but other than that, all of my teammates do. So.
You're very successful off the court too. You're a biology major. What ultimately brought you here? Was it the athletics or the academics?
It was a combination of both. This was the school that had stellar athletics as well as academics. It wasn't just one or the other.
And what are your ambitions off the court, biology related?
I would like to get into the health field and be an orthopedic surgeon.
And, is there any specific reason that you want to do that? Is it for sports injuries or anything?
It's for sports injuries. Growing up, just being around physical therapy and with athletes, it's become a passion, and I would like to pursue that field.
And switching back to basketball, you're over halfway through the season right now. What's the plan going forward?
Just to win as many games as we can. We've got one senior, Jo Beth, and we really want to get to Salem for her. So.
And can you tell me anything about recruitment? What is Coach Katz doing right now to bring in new players? Have you met anyone who might be coming in? Can you give me any insight on that?
We have 4 girls that have officially committed, and each one of them we have a couple post players and a couple guards, and they're going to help us significantly next year. So we're excited.
And you know, that's one of the really unique parts about college athletics. You get new players coming in each year. Are there nerves involved there? Are you nervous to meet new teammates, or is this something that you really look forward to, meeting 2, 3, 4 new girls each year?
I suppose you're always nervous that your personalities will clash, that you won't get along on or off the court, but ultimately we're just excited to expand the family.
Thanks for being here, Anna, and good luck with the rest of the season. That was the EHCtv sports interview. Now we'll send it over to Austin Bunn with the sports update.